Hello everybody! Welcome to U-MYScI's lesson on the water cycle. Water comes in three different forms: as a solid, which is ice, as a liquid, which is water, and as a gas, which is water vapor. The water cycle is how water moves between all three of these forms. So the water cycle typically starts with water as a liquid. This then evaporates into the gas, water vapor, which then condensates back into the liquid water and precipitates down onto the earth, where it collects in bodies of water, such as rivers, lakes, and oceans. The process can then begin again. Related processes include freezing, which is when liquid water freezes into solid ice, and melting, which is when solid ice melts into liquid water. There's also sublimation, which is when solid ice transitions directly into the gas, water vapor. So as water transitions between forms, energy is released or absorbed. This leads to temperature changes and can result in different climates, such as the rainforest shown here. Water can absorb energy, which cools the environment. This typically happens when water transitions from more rigid forms to less rigid forms, such as when it melts from ice to water. Water can also release energy, which warms the environment. This will happen when water moves from more flexible forms to less flexible forms, such as when it freezes from liquid water into ice. The water flow replenishes fresh water to the land and can move minerals around the earth. It also alters shorelines through the processes of erosion and sedimentation. Erosion is when water wears away at shorelines, causing them to shrink, and sedimentation is when water deposits dirt and rocks and other minerals to build shorelines back up. As a result, the earth is constantly changing as the flow of water shapes it. Because of climate change, these changes are happening more quickly. The melting of the polar ice caps is causing sea levels to rise, which is affecting all life on Earth, including human life. We're also going to be learning about clouds. High-level clouds are above 20,000 feet. These are given the prefix cirro. Examples of these are cirrus, cirrostratus, and cirrocumulus clouds. Mid-level clouds are between 6,500 feet and 20,000 feet. These are given the prefix alto, and examples of these include altostratus and altocumulus clouds. Low-level clouds are below 6,500 feet. These don't have a prefix, but are called stratus clouds if they are more horizontal, and cumulus clouds if they are more vertical. Typically, low-level clouds will be responsible for rain or snow. If they are, they're given the prefix nimbus. Nimbostratus clouds are responsible for heavy rain or snow, and cumulonimbus clouds are responsible for thunderstorms or heavy rain. Have fun with the lesson! Hey everybody, I'm Krista, I'm with U-MYScI, and I'm really excited to walk you through some experiments today. So today we're going to be talking about the water cycle. Now, water is an essential resource that makes life on Earth possible, and it goes through three different forms: as a solid, which is ice, as a liquid, which is water, and as a gas, which is water vapor. And the water cycle is how water moves between all three of these forms. So for our first experiment, we are going to be exploring evaporation and condensation. So first thing we'll need is some water. You're going to want to pour the water into the bowl. And then you also place the small cup in the bowl as well. Be careful not to get water into the small cup. After that, cover the bowl and the cup with some plastic wrap. And put the rubber band around the plastic wrap to secure it. Then, take the bowl and put it in a sunny location and leave it for a couple hours.
Hey everyone, so I'm Jonathan with U-MYScI, and we're going to go over experiment 2 today, over exploration into the water cycle. So for experiment 2, essentially what we're going to be doing is just modeling what experiment 1 is in just a little bit different manner to get you thinking about it differently. For this, what you're going to need is some sort of marker, a Ziploc bag, some food coloring if you want, and some water and and tape. So to start off, all you need to do is draw a sun and like a cloud. You can be creative with it, some scenery. This is going to represent sun and clouds, just like in real life. And then, you can even draw in a little bit of water, a little water line on the bottom. And so you can end up with something really beautiful, just like this. And all you have to do then, with the bag, pour a little bit of water in. This water, just like the last experiment, is going to evaporate. We're going to see what it looks like when it rains. So, see, it's pretty good. Then, if you want, you can add a little bit of coloring in there, just to kind of make it feel like, you know, it's a nice blue ocean or something in here. Awesome. Seal it up, and then we'll tape it to maybe a window or something like that. If you can, someplace warm so that the water will heat up, and then you can see what happens.
Alright, hey guys! For our final experiment in exploring the water cycle, we're going to be looking at clouds. So for this experiment, you're going to need shaving cream, some food coloring, and a cup halfway filled with water. So for this experiment, you're going to want to fill the cup the rest of the way with shaving cream. And then add the food coloring to the shaving cream drop by drop.
Alright, so after a couple more drops, or many drops, depending on how thick your shaving cream is, you should start to see some of the food coloring go through the shaving cream and into the water. Think about how this relates to clouds, as well as from the reading in your protocol. How accurate was your prediction? What factors do you think might influence how much water the cloud can hold? And what type of cloud do you think you made, and why? Hey guys, so after a while, with your experiment 1, you should be able to see these nice droplets form onto the plastic wrap, and if we're careful to take it off, we should be able to see that some water has also entered the cup. The level of water will probably depend on the bowl and size of the cup you use, but you should still be able to see some water that was not there previously. So, write down your thoughts as to how this happened and how this relates to the water cycle as in our just normal lives. So, thank you. Here is what your experiment 2 should look like after a few hours in the sun. You can notice all the nice condensed water throughout the bag. You can also notice how most of it is clear. That's because the water is not taking the food coloring with it as it evaporates. So write down your thoughts and compare it how it is to the water cycle in our real world. Thank you again.